Today on the Travel Insider, we'll talk about the amazing tourism campaign from Australia during the Super Bowl, which aims to attract more visitors into the country. And also about Justice Travel, an agency that links tourists who have a willingness to help social causes with activists who need support to defend human rights. Let's go to the information. In past years, TV ads during the Super Bowl have made almost as big an impression as the game or halftime show, and this year was no different. Perennial favourites are food and drinks companies like Coca-Cola and Budweiser, as well as some automakers, but this year there was one ad that stood out, and that's relevant to our show. A star-studded Crocodile Dundee themed commercial that aired during the Super Bowl marked the launch of Tourism Australia's $27 million US marketing campaign, the largest amount ever spent by Australia on a single overseas tourism market. During the football game, viewers learned that a rumoured sequel of the 80s movie Crocodile Dundee, entitled Dundee, the Son of a Legend Returns Home, is in fact not a sequel, but rather an elaborate advertising campaign aimed at attracting more visitors to Australia. The 60-second commercial began as a typical movie trailer and ultimately revealed itself to be a plug for Australia's destinations, food and wine. According to Tourism Australia's Managing Director John O'Sullivan, American visitors represent a significant tourism market for the country, having spent $3.7 billion in Australia over the past 12 months. But he noted, despite rating highly in terms of aspiration and intention, they still have more work to do when it comes to converting American interest in Australia into actual visits. That's the challenge that this new campaign is seeking to address. Lisa Ronson, Tourism Australia's Chief Marketing Officer, said that with more than 100 million viewers that tuned into the Super Bowl last Sunday, the game offered the largest reach of any advertising platform in the US, and many viewers are the high-yielding American traveller that they specifically target, she said. Previous Tourism Australia campaigns have attempted to change Australia's image, with results ranging from the lacklustre to the disastrous. Unlike recent campaigns, the Super Bowl ad reflects international perceptions of Australia. Icons like Paul Hogan and Steve Irwin enjoy good recognition in countries like the United States, so leaning into this image of Australia is a smart move. Australia has built up strong brand recognition in the United States, albeit within the bounds of expectations largely cultivated by the advertising of the past, centred on beaches, bush and other all too familiar popular signifiers of Australia. Straying outside of these concepts hasn't proven successful. In the end, a national reputation is not something that can be demanded, only given by others. In other news, tourism can be an excellent mechanism to achieve social change. That's the core belief at Justice Travel, an agency that links tourists who have the capacity and willingness to help social causes with activists who need support to defend human rights. This agency recently opened its Mexican chapter. It's not to be confused with humanitarian tourism, which is a way to vacation and to feel altruistic. Here, travel and destinations are a vehicle to generate long-term improvements in the community, also explains Adalberto Mendez, a lawyer specialized in human rights and who until a few days ago was Director of Disability Care at the National Commission of Human Rights in the country. He's now taken on the responsibility of bringing to the country businessmen, opinion leaders, politicians, and people with a social commitment so that they know from the own voice of civil activists what are the needs and the actions that take place in the country. According to their website, Justice Travel is moving beyond tourism to allow you to truly engage with your world, going beyond the headlines and supporting advocates and activists fighting for human rights around the world. From impoverished small farmers in Zimbabwe to young women organizing sweatshop workers in Cambodia, independent journalists in Mexico to conflict-displaced communities in Colombia, they work around issues that matter with partners who are brave and committed. And their unique profit-sharing model means that their mission is our mission, in their own words. The cost per person ranges from $1,800 to $2,200. 1/3 of the profits of Justice Travel go directly to civil organizations with social impact, but without a doubt, the great contribution is to be linked in the future with these causes. Mexico enjoys a strong leadership in traditional tourism. It's about time that we also take advantage of destinations and attractions as a meeting mechanism for social changes. That was all for today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media and leave us a comment to let us know what you think.